The veterans I'm telling you, we're so appreciative of that. And so, 2 Samuel said, "And the Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer and my God, my rock in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold and my refuge, my Savior. Thou dost save me from violence. I call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised, and I am safe from my enemies." Let me tell you something.
There are 7 specific characteristics that each possess. Our veterans exemplify valor, service, they are patriots, heroes to us all, have made significant sacrifices, and have shown courage and honor. During this time we have together, we would like to honor our veterans and also leave each person in attendance with a brief glimpse into the lives that these great men and women have lived.
Sacrifice is the act of giving up something you want to keep in order to help someone else. Our veterans have sacrificed personal freedoms, such as where they sleep at night, where they eat, and when they are at home with their families, all for us. They sacrifice their time, their safety, and their own freedom so that we may enjoy ours. But it is not only your veterans who make sacrifices, it is also their families. At this time, we would like to introduce a distinguished HHS alum from the class of 1995, Mrs. Gwen Pitchford Lynn. Gwen is the daughter of Bill and Lynn Pitchford. She was active in student council, band, and the youth group at First Baptist. In 1998, she met a proto-pilot named Kendall Lynn, and they married in 2003. Kendall passed away in 2016, and Gwen is here today to talk about the sacrifice of military families.
Good morning. Special thanks to those ladies who played all the sappy songs right before I had to speak. It was not good. Thank you for having me this morning. What an honor to get to come back to my school and speak about Kendall. I was asked to talk about the sacrifice of military families today, but let's start with a little backstory. Kendall joined the Oklahoma National Guard as junior year of high school in '94 when he was 17. His first deployment was to Bosnia in 1999 and 2000. We were married in 2003. His next deployment was 2006-2007 to Afghanistan, where he was a platoon leader for an infantry unit. He lived high up in the mountains of Afghanistan with a bunch of Afghan soldiers. His third deployment was in 2011-2012 in Kuwait, and he was the company commander for a cavalry unit. He passed away in 2016 at the age of 39, and after he passed, they went ahead and retired him from the military. Our 2 kids are now in 6th and 8th grade up at Ramsey in Fort Smith, and when I was telling them that I had been invited to speak here, they both said that I would be boring and no one would pay attention. I told them I would start with the 7-buck monkey story, and they approved. So in 2007 in February, Kendall and his guys were in eastern Afghanistan, and it was a very dangerous deployment, to be honest. One day, Kendall and 3 of his soldiers were out on a mission. Kendall and one guy had to go into a town hall in the village for a meeting. The other 2 guys drove them there, and they stayed in the vehicle for security. While Kendall and the other guy were inside, some little Afghan kids walked up to the 2 in the vehicle with a monkey with a shoelace tied around his neck, like a leash. The kid said he wanted $20 American for the monkey. They said, "We have 5, but they ended up giving him $7. Kendall and Matt get back into the vehicle and see a small monkey sitting there on the radio of the vehicle with a shoestring tied around his neck. There were lots of questions, and I'm pretty sure there was some bad words, but their next question was, how are we going to get it on base? Well, they just drove right in. They said it was like taking care of a baby on a camping trip with no backers. It climbed all over Kendall, but he thought it was awesome. He said it wouldn't stop shrieking. They took turns, each of them having it on their shoulder and taking pictures, and it pooped down their backs, and then it pooped on the laptop. They weren't sure how they were going to keep this little guy a secret. One of the guys made a hammock, and 2 of the other guys built a makeshift cage out back, and they put it in that in hopes of getting some sleep. But he screamed and he shrieked and he jumped all night long and kept most of the base up, so their secret wasn't working. For 24 hours, they had a monkey, but for 24 hours, it shrieked and it threw poop. And that 24 hours is how long it took them to decide that they didn't want a monkey. So they took it outside of the base gate to the bazaar and gave it to one of the elders. But it was totally worth the $7 to get the story of that 7-buck monkey. So now back to the sacrifice assignment. Military sacrifice is something that's felt across all the branches by spouses and children and siblings and parents and family and friends and even co-workers. My experience in military life was supporting my husband while he served in the Oklahoma National Guard, and so while that's what I know, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Let me just say that I don't consider what I as a military spouse did to be a sacrifice. I feel that my husband was the one who made that decision to go talk to a recruiter and take the oath and sign the contract and train his body and mind for war and leave all the comforts of our home to go defend our nation on foreign soil. I was never a warrior, honestly, when it came to him being deployed. We talked about the what ifs so many times, and we were always prepared, maybe not emotionally, but definitely on paperwork. I truly believe that my worrying would do nothing, so therefore I just talked proudly about what he did and just him, rather than spending any time worrying. National Guard deployments can take over 2 years with all of their preparations that they have to do, even though they only spend 9 to 12 months in that foreign country. Because they also have civilian jobs, they have to go through lots of pre-mobilization processes to prepare for that deployment. I never felt like my sacrifice equaled his sacrifice. He was the one who faced the bullets. I didn't. He fought people and he had his friends die in combat. I can only imagine his horrors. He sacrificed his body in 20 years of his service, of his life in service to our country, and I just tagged along for the ride. Is keeping up with the laundry and the kids the same as facing those bullets? Absolutely not. But my husband and I didn't compete over whose job was harder. He was my biggest supporter, and he always bragged about my job back home. Neither one of us wanted to switch places. We just did our job to make that military life work. When he was deployed, our children were little, and it was before FaceTime was even invented. Kuwait is 9 hours ahead of us, and Afghanistan is 10 and a half hours ahead of us. On weekend mornings, he would call us via Skype, and I would set the laptop in the floor or on the kitchen table wherever the kids were, and they would just play while he sat and watched them, or while he had dinner or watched TV there in his little Connex building. To marry into the military, you have to be tolerant, and you have to be flexible, you have to be resilient, you have to be okay with being apart and being alone most of the time. You have to be capable enough to manage a household single-handedly, and you have to sacrifice. All that to say that veterans from all generations and their families have sacrificed so much to ensure our freedoms. Today I'm thankful for the day-to-day sacrifice of all of them, but I also am overly thankful for the veteran friends and family that continue to surround and support and care for our children and me in his absence. I'm honored to be able to call myself a military spouse. Thank you.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife, I thank my God above to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA. There is pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the one who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Well, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless